Okay, so we pretty much just got the announcement that Kona is being moved to February. So it's pretty big news. It all seemed to kind of escalate over the last kind of 3-4 days into rumours that it might not happen, leak on social media that it's not going to happen, and then official statement from Ironman saying it is now going to be in February. So I'm currently on Kona camp, training here at Club Centre. So Kona camp is cancelled. I'm not on Kona camp now. I'm on Collins Cup camp, St. George camp, and whatever will follow that camp. Yeah, so that's where we're at. So training has been going really, really well. I'm obviously here in my happy place, which is Club Centre. I come here to get all of the training done that I need to. It's just super simple. So definitely in really good form, starting to see some amazing stuff in training. Everything's moving in the right direction and I'm really just happy with the progress I've been making. So I was definitely on what I would say is the perfect path to Kona.
I think, to be honest, training has never been as good as it is now. We're both fit, we're both very healthy, we're both very motivated. Because we haven't both raced an Ironman this season, I think we're both extremely fresh, so to speak, mentally and physically. I'm itching to race. I will be racing very soon. We made the decision that we're going to go out to St. George, Utah earlier and do a little bit of an altitude camp beforehand, which meant the window for me to race had closed a bit because we needed a good 2 weeks at altitude at least before the race at 70.3 Worlds. But it just meant that now I can race straight after an altitude block. So I am going to be doing 70.3 Augusta in America. Lucy will be doing Ironman 70.3 World Championships and then potentially some very exciting races after that on the short course scene, which I perhaps won't announce just yet, but watch this space. And then some even more exciting races back home, which again I won't say yet, but there's lots and lots of things to look forward to.
To be honest, it doesn't matter when Kona is. I'll just make sure that I'm ready. I will just keep this ball rolling, hopefully. This fitness isn't going to go anywhere. Fitness is never wasted. So yeah, the camp's been going great. Obviously, it's a huge disappointment that Kona is now a bit further away. I definitely find at this point in the season, when it's Kona, you just get the training done. It doesn't matter, you just do it. You can just do it, you can just do it because you're so motivated for that big goal. So for that to kind of have the goalposts move further away is difficult, but there's way worse things going on in the world. So I definitely I'm fine, I'm happy, I'm fit, I'm strong, I'm healthy. I just need to keep that going now all the way through to February, which I guess the hardest part is that Kona's been moved, so I normally have an off season after Kona, so actually Kona's not cancelled, my off season is cancelled, but again, I'm an athlete, this is my job, and I'm definitely not complaining.
Really difficult thing will be to try and maintain heat preparation for Kona in February when we're living in the northern hemisphere. Everything's going to be cold. Even our home away from home Lanzarote is relatively warm, but it's not, you know, Kona level warm during the months of January. It's a lovely time to come here, but it's probably like at best 20 degrees, so heat preparation is going to be key. How do we tackle that? Well, I think we're probably going to be looking at either going to Kona a lot earlier, so probably in January time, just get used to it, or doing a lot of making use of the sports science team that we got home and using the heat acclimation chambers, doing a lot of improvised work with layers on and using the core temperature device to make sure we're keeping warm throughout the winter months in training. But it's not ideal. The good news is there's literally dozens of different races out there at the moment. It's not like last year where there was very little to pick from. There's other opportunities. Lucy's in incredibly good shape, and I think she'll just spend that fitness elsewhere. Got two really big races on the horizon with the Collins Cup next weekend, 70.3 World Championships in St. George. Do a couple of races after that potentially, and February's not really that long away.
Yeah, so obviously this was actually going to be a fairly race intensive block with the Collins Cup coming up, the 70.3 Worlds in St. George, followed by Kona. So Kona was obviously always the A+ race, with the Collins Cup and St. George being A races, but just not quite as A as Kona. So now Collins Cup and 70.3 Worlds pretty much become A+ races, I guess, because that's all that's on the horizon at the moment. So at least I've got some good fitness, some good form, which I can take into these races. And like I said, it's absolutely not wasted. I've got a great foundation to now build towards Kona. However, obviously Kona is an Ironman distance race, and a lot of my training has been with that in mind. Obviously the Collins Cup is literally like a week away, so I would just be starting to rest down for that anyway. I can't change any of my training for that. It's all been done now. And again, 70.3 Worlds is pretty close. So my training won't really look too different. I'm an athlete who loves to train quite high intensity, even though I do long distance. So there won't be massive changes to my training. Obviously it will be slightly different because the 70.3 is a much shorter day than an Ironman. But like I said, I'm feeling strong, I'm feeling good, and I feel like it wouldn't matter what race was on the horizon. And there's potentially some completely different racing that I might be able to throw in because Kona is further away as well. So yeah, it's pretty exciting actually.
Yeah, so the whole sort of 3 to 6 month program has been based around peaking in October. The good news is we're far enough out from the race that we can actually change the schedule and make that peak come later. It just means that instead of going through the phases as we normally would, we're actually now pulling things back into focus on the 70.3 World Championships, which changes the training slightly. I mean, Lucy's focus was the Ironman World Championships with the 70.3 focus. Now it's very much just the 70.3, so training will look a little bit different. But then we've got loads of time after that to focus on Kona. So the fitness that she's already gained is not going to go anywhere. We're going to keep rolling that through at a much more gradual, steady build rather than an aggressive build. And yeah, just try and keep the enjoyment into training at that level and intensity throughout the winter, which is always going to be a challenge, but I think we've got plenty of things to keep us motivated, and lots of really, really cool events happen in the winter time at home, especially with the running events that we can get involved with and keep things interesting just to roll through.
So thanks for watching this little update. Obviously Kona camp is cancelled, but Kona isn't completely cancelled. We'll just keep our fingers crossed that it does happen in February. As always, I hope you enjoyed just keeping updated with us, and stay tuned for more cool videos.